Today we are going to discuss about two important aspects about variables in a program, and they are scope and lifetime for variables. So that is the topic for today. So what is the lifetime for a variable? Lifetime for a variable in a program P is a portion of the time interval I in which P executes. That means, suppose your program P starts execution at a time point M and later finishes its execution at time point N. That means the program starts executing at time instant M and it goes till time instant N. So from M to N in the timeline the program is executing. This lifetime of a variable is a time window within the time between M and N. I will show you a picture including the timeline to make it clear. Please don't get worried about it. Consider an example program. Here we have a program with two functions, the main function and the function foo. What the function main is doing? It executes some statement and then it makes a call to the function foo. And after the function foo returns, it executes main for some more time and then it finishes. That is the program. And suppose we want to know what is the lifetime for the decimal variable v which is declared within the function foo. So it's actually defined in terms of execution time. So consider the system clock. Suppose this is the clock of your computer. Assume that it starts at this time instant 0 and it goes forever. So we are assuming that the computer is never going to be switched off or shut down. So it just started here, operating system started running here and it goes forever. Now during the functioning of the computer, suppose this program is executed and assume that the program P starts executing at time instant M and it executes and later terminates at time instant N. So this is the time interval of execution for the program P. When I say time for execution of the program P, I mean time for executing the main function in the program P. That is the case. Now we know that here the main starts and after some time the main is calling the function foo. So foo starts at some time instant, say I, and it executes, and suppose foo also terminates. That means foo finishes its execution say at time instant j. So this is the scenario that we have. The main function starts here and ends here, and during the execution the main calls to foo and it stops here and again main is executed for some more time and finally main finishes at this point. Now what is the lifetime for the decimal variable v? Here is it shows. The lifetime for the decimal variable which is defined within a function is from the beginning of that function to the end of that function. So during the time that function instance is active, the lifetime of variable is there. So the variable also gets created at the time of calling that function or at the time of creating the function instance, and it is valid till that function instance exists. This is what we already discussed. We saw that whenever a function is called for execution, an instance of that function is created in memory, and every variable within the function is getting memory allocated. So for all the variables declared within foo, memory is allocated at this time point, and the lifetime for all the variables starts there, and it goes till the last time instant at which that function terminates. So that is the lifetime. So lifetime for a variable is a time interval during which the variable is live. Okay, it starts from the point of creation of that variable and to the point of killing that variable on the timeline. When I say kill, I mean revoking the memory allocation given to that particular variable. So I hope lifetime is clear, which means if you look on the timeline of your computer, from which time instant to which time instant the variable is live. This is what is called the lifetime. Now we are going to see another aspect of a variable, which is the scope of a variable. What is the scope? Scope of a variable in a program is a portion of the program where the variable is accessible. So this is a simple concept. Consider this example, the same example, and now suppose you want to know the scope of this variable. By this definition, what is the scope? It is the portion of the program where the variable dv is accessible, and here you can see that this is the scope. The scope is the portion of your program from here to here where you can access that variable. It is called the scope, and it is not difficult to see that the scope of a variable, that is over this part of the program, is valid only during the lifetime of this variable. There is no point in saying that the variable is accessible if the variable is not live. Okay. So these are the two important facts about a variable that we are discussing in this lecture. So lifetime and scope, these are two different aspects. Lifetime means the period of time a variable is live during the execution. In the example, we saw that for a variable which is declared or defined within a function, the lifetime starts at the moment when that function is called for execution. That time function instance is created and variable is getting memory, and the lifetime starts from there and it goes to the last time instant during the execution of that function instance. So lifetime is a time frame in which a variable is live. Another aspect is scope, which is the portion of the program where a program variable is accessible. Okay. Now we are going to see a class of variable called automatic variables or local variables, and which is defined based on the scope and lifetime of these variables. So we are going to see what are automatic or local variables. In fact, we can classify the set of variables in a program based on the lifetime and accessibility or scope. So today we are going to see the first class of variables based on scope and scope and lifetime, and they are called automatic or local variables. So what are automatic or local variables? Let us try to understand what they are using an illustrative example. Here is a program with a single function main. Let us not worry about what this program is doing. Here just note that within the same function main, the variable a is declared twice, here and there. Now you may think, is it possible? Later we can see. Anyway, it is possible. I will tell you how is it possible and what is the meaning. And if you want, you can have a different data type here. You can have same variable name for different variables within a function. So how is it possible? So that is what we are trying to understand now. And suppose you execute this program. Okay. And I am not showing you memory allocation because here the purpose is different. Here we want to know about automatic variables. So assume that these two variables are getting two different memory allocations for them. So if you proceed down, it comes to the first executable statement, which is a printf statement. Now what it is trying to print is a in main, then the value of a is printed. So what will be the value? The value is capital M because it is this M. Now you note that before the next printf there is another declaration, and which is allowed by the C programming language. C is a block structured language. Block means a sequence of statements given within curly braces, within a pair of curly braces. This is what is called a block. Okay. Here you can see that there are two blocks. One outer block starts over here and goes all the way till here. Okay. And this particular block is defined within the main block. Okay. And each block like this, which is basically a compound statement. If you recall the type of statement, which is a sequence of statements given within the curly braces, is called a compound statement, which is also called a block. And a block can define local or automatic variables just like a function. So what I am telling is, if you have a block, if you look at any of your program, then the if statement or the for loop or while loop, if you look at any of these constructs, you can see that you are having a number of statements within curly braces. They are all blocks. So now we are saying that within a block you can declare variables, and then it functions as if it is a function, just like a function definition. Within the curly braces you can have variable declarations. Okay, so here you have curly braces and hence a compound statement within which you can declare a variable. Now suppose you come to this statement. I am trying to print A in B is this block name, I assume. So and what will be printed? I think you guessed it as capital B. Now declaration of a local variable like this in a block overrides or redefine the definition of a variable with the same name, if any, reaching to that point. When I say reaching to that point, I mean a variable which is accessible to that particular program point. From the definition of the scope of a variable, we saw that the scope or accessibility starts from the point of definition and it goes till the last statement of the block. Here this is the block in which that particular variable is defined. Then we can see that this definition of small a goes all the way till this printf statement. That means this is coming to this statement as well. But here you are defining another variable with the same name, and that is why we said it is overriding this definition. So within this block only this a is accessible, because the same name could be of different data type, that doesn't matter. So within this block, after this definition, only that particular variable is accessible. If that is the case, if you try to print, you will get B as the character printed, because this is what is accessed. And this was the last statement in the block. So the control comes out, and the next statement is again a printf statement. So what you are trying to print? You are trying to print the value of the variable a again. So what will be printed? Whatever be the variable accessible, that will be printed. Now you can see that this a is accessible only till the last statement of that particular compound statement. So not accessible to this point. So what will be accessible? This a will be accessible. Why? Because the accessibility starts from the point of definition and it goes till the last statement of that block in which it is defined. You know that this a is defined in the outer block, so it is accessible here. So if you print, you will get capital I. Okay, that's about automatic or local variables. So what we saw is that within a function we can have different variables with the same name. And how is it possible? Because C is a block structured language where each block can define variables. And if already a variable definition is accessible to that block, that definition will be redefined or overridden by the new variable declaration. And I hope the example made it clear, and still if you have doubt, please watch it again and try to understand what we discussed. So let us proceed to the next slide. Now we can just see a very similar code where the only difference is that here I just have removed that curly braces. So only a single compound statement is there, and I am trying to define two variables with the same name. And if you try to execute, you can see that the compiler will give you an error message like multiple definition of A or redefinition of A or something like that. You just type it and try to compile it. You can see that there is an error. And why is it that there is an error? Because only a single compound statement, so only a single block in which you can have at most one variable with a single name. If you have multiple blocks, you can have variables with same name, but within a block only one variable can be defined with a single name. I hope you are getting me. Let us recollect what we have done or what we discussed about automatic or local variables. Variables including formal arguments which are defined or declared inside a function are interpreted as local or automatic variables. Okay, if you look at all the variables which are defined or declared inside a function, including the formal arguments, are automatic variables. Now see what is the lifetime of automatic variables, that is when those variables are created and when they are killed. Kill means revoking the memory allocation, and lifetime is throughout the execution of an instance of a function. Look at the timeline. Suppose your program starts execution at time point m and terminates at time point n, and assume that the main function is calling another function foo at time instant I, and foo terminates at time instant j. So what we are telling is that now the lifetime of automatic variables in foo starts at I and ends at j. That's what we are saying. Okay. Now what is the scope? Scope means where automatic variables are accessible. Scope of a local or automatic variable defined in a function starts or extends from the point of definition of that variable to the last statement of the block in which it is defined. Example, suppose if you look at this particular code and the variable small a, so it is defined within the inner block. So it starts over here, the accessibility starts at here and goes all the way till the last statement of the block. So it's not accessible here outside the block, and that's it. So that's about automatic or local variables. And explicit initialization like this is required for automatic variables, because values of uninitialized automatic variables are unpredictable. If you define a variable without giving it an initial value as a part of declaration or definition, then you cannot have any expectation about the value of that variable, because then the value can be any possible value. So if you want to have say 0 for a numeric variable, you have to initialize it as 0. That's it. Now before we finish, let us see how a programmer can create automatic or local variables. This is how. The only interesting statements are these two. You can see that these two are declarations, and when compared to the syntax that we learned in this course about declarations, this is an extra thing which is a keyword. So if you prefix the declaration statement with auto, then you are saying that okay, all those variables are automatic variables, and you can only use it inside a function like this. Now you may have a question, then what is the kind of variables that I declared in all the previous programs? All those are automatic variables, because the specification of the storage specifier auto is optional, without which the default type is automatic variables within a function. So this is equivalent, without auto is equivalent. So whatever you have done till now, all the variables you created in your program, because all those are within functions, all those variables are automatic variables. So storage class specification is optional. If you want, you can specify explicitly, even otherwise you are implicitly specifying it as auto. So auto is a keyword. And variables including formal arguments which are defined or declared inside a function definition is interpreted as automatic variables. And with this we are finishing this lecture, and today we have seen lifetime and scope of variables. Lifetime says where the variable starts its life and where it loses its life. So it is the time frame during which a variable is active. And scope means accessibility, that is, in which portion of the program a variable is accessible. And based on the scope and lifetime, we can classify variables, and today we also have seen automatic variables whose lifetime is throughout the execution of an instance of a function in which those automatic variables are defined or declared, and their scope or accessibility starts from the point of definition of the variable and goes all the way till the last statement of the block in which that automatic variable is defined. And we saw that the keyword auto specifying the variable as automatic is not required, which is optional. So if you are declaring variables within a function as formal argument or as local variables without any storage class specification, these variables are taken as automatic variables. Thank you.